Hey guys, Dakota here with the Building Collective. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about building sites and locations, specifically what state to build in. Now, I live here in the Black Hills of South Dakota, right around Rapid City. You may be familiar with Mount Rushmore. It's kind of our tourism that comes to this area is mostly because of the Black Hills, the national parks, and Mount Rushmore. And I wanted to just get into a little bit why you might choose to come here to the Black Hills to build, some of the benefits and some of the not so great things about the Black Hills that may actually deter you from wanting to spend your money to move to South Dakota. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now keep in mind throughout this video that I am a custom home builder here in the Black Hills. So this is kind of from my perspective of trying to guide clients and guide potential people wanting to move to South Dakota, and just helping you guys make decisions of whether or not this location might be right for you versus going to another state. Now let's start with the weather, because it changes a lot here in South Dakota. The one great thing about it, we have all 4 seasons, and the one bad thing about it is some of the times all 4 of those seasons can show up in one day. And so you gotta be prepared. It's kind of one of those things where you can go to work with the heater on, you can be driving to lunch with the AC on, and you can be driving back home with the heater back on again. It's just kind of crazy. Now, I think a lot of people are maybe more worried about the weather than maybe you should be. I think as humans, we regulate and kind of get used to weather as we spend more time in it. Now, the winter months, getting into January, we do get down into the teens for probably an average low. We get into the negatives sometimes for a couple days in a row. And then during the summer, we also get up, we do hit 100 for heat. In July, August, sometimes we'll hit the hundreds a couple days in a row. But those are kind of the extremes. And we're a lot of times more moderately in the middle of that. Our average for temp is probably somewhere more around 50 degrees, which is not horrible. It's kind of like sweatshirt weather a lot of the time. It's like even today, it's cloudy, and I just got a little light jacket on and I feel really comfortable. We do get in some areas a lot of hail and big hail. That's why we put a lot of metal roofs on here in the Black Hills, and then we just swap them out. It's just normal. Most people in most areas of the country probably think it's this really big thing to have to change out the roof, and maybe with shingles a little bit more, but it's pretty common here to just swap the metal out on your roof or your siding when it gets all dinged up from the hail. More on the eastern side of South Dakota, we do get we get some tornadoes. It's not super common, not like Oklahoma, but it is possible. Out here on the western side of the state, it's also a lot drier. Eastern side, you get across the Missouri River, we call that East River, and it's a lot more humid over there. So if you get over into Sioux Falls area, you're gonna experience that humidity a lot more, whereas here on the western side in the Black Hills, it's definitely a lot drier, which I like a lot more. I think another thing that a lot of people, maybe even a misconception here in South Dakota, is that we get just a ton of snow. And I would say that that is mostly a myth, and while even when we do get snow, the temperature ranges enough and gets warm enough to where we typically melt off our snow pretty quick. At least the last couple of years, it seems like it's been a lot more moderate and has been melting off a lot faster. So like this year, I think we had maybe like 3 snowstorms, I would call them, where we got more than 2-3 inches of snow. And I don't remember those lasting more than maybe a week, where we actually had roads that were affected by that snow. So at the very least, the roads clear off. A lot of times, like even on this job site, I was up here this winter, and at the beginning of the day, we had one time, I think like 7 inches on one of those storms. And at the end of the day, we had like 2 or 3 inches. It had melted down that far in just one day. So it's a little crazy in the way that works. But it's something you got to think about and process through if that's going to be something that you're going to be able to handle and want to endure, or maybe even you like that and you prefer that, and so that is very desirable for you to want to move here to the Black Hills.
When moving to a new area, a really important thing to think about is the people and whether or not you're going to like them. Now, we're not going to get into it, but I do have to mention that if politics are your thing, South Dakota is a very red state, very conservative. Everything kind of leans that way. We have I would say, probably a decent percentage of people that move here specifically for the politics. But that's going to be enough on that. I'm not going to get into it. Population. South Dakota is a very low populated state. We have just under 1 million people. We're I think we're number 6 on the lowest population, or 5 in the United States. So we're super low. And a whole lot of those people are in Sioux Falls on the eastern side of the state. I think just over 200,000 people live in Sioux Falls. And then Rapid City would be the next biggest city. They have somewhere around 75,000 people. And so it's just a really small state. And what that gives you is a small town feel for much of the state. So take where I'm at right now, Spearfish. You look it up, I think the population is somewhere around 20,000 people. So this would be one of the bigger cities in Rapid City. And I'm about 5 miles out of town, up a gravel road. There's no traffic. This morning, I didn't even pass a car getting up to this house, this client's house. And it is like 5 miles. So relatively no traffic out here, very quiet. Right as I say that, there's a neighbor driving by. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Anyways, there's the one neighbor. The nice thing about being way up in one of these places of the hills is that you're secluded, you have privacy. It's just gorgeous. Trees all around. Depending on the location, depending on your build site, there are more prairie areas around the Black Hills too that you can find, meadow areas. It's just great views. Some spots you're up on a hill and you can see from some spots Mount Rushmore or Terry Peak or Black Elk Peak, Harney Peak, some of those different taller mountains that we have around here that you can hike or go do some of those things on. And so you kind of can have some connection to what that is that you're looking at, but also be able to see it from afar, which is really nice. And of course, if you're coming from a big city maybe, coming out here, secluded, small town America, of the Black Hills area, you come way out here, and you know what's great about this? The crime rate is super low because there's nobody out here to do crime with. So that's always a plus. All right, this here is probably one of the biggest persuaders in people moving to the Black Hills, the outdoor lifestyle. Now this is right off the back deck of a client's home. They are just below the tree line to where they can't see out and over it, but they love the seclusion of that, and they chose this property because of that reason. Now you may like to be up more on a hill where you can see out over it, see the mountaintops and things that are around, or be in a valley, being able to see the hillside. There's so many options to create the feel that you want around your home and to create the lifestyle that you want as well. Now here in the Black Hills, we have everything from hiking. We have hundreds, maybe thousands of trails. We have camping. We have rock climbing around Mount Rushmore. We have skiing, snowmobiling, snowboarding, fishing. There's tons of lakes around the Black Hills that you can choose from. You can do summer skiing or summer fishing. You can do winter fishing, ice fishing. Lots of fun. Water sports on the lakes you can do. The one thing about those is you have a short window as far as the really, really warm weather that we get here. So you're talking a couple months rather than maybe potentially the whole year like you might in other states. So that's kind of a downfall there, but man, it's just really pretty up here. If you live in the hills, if you're within the tree line of the hills, you can get to those attraction deals within minutes typically within 30 minutes. So you can be to a trail, a lake, or something like that, to where you can get out into nature and enjoy that, or you'll be living in it. This property here backs up to the U.S. Forest Service, and so clients can go out, they can hunt, they can walk. Literally, the fence line, probably 200 yards up there on the hill. Once they get past that, they're in the U.S. Forest Service land. So there's some really cool opportunities around like that. In my humble opinion, the Black Hills of South Dakota has a whole lot going for it. It's really desirable to live in, and you may be thinking that this place might work for you. And if that's the case, I'd encourage you to get a hold of me, message me in the comments, and I'll reach out to you. We can schedule a call, we can schedule a meeting of some sort, and talk about potentially getting some land and getting a build going here in the Black Hills. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you on the next one.